I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while, we're sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything but love.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Love Show. I'm Gabby Love, a matchmaker in New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. I'm currently working towards my dissertation, and my topic is relationship satisfaction and personality types. Tonight's show I'm calling Health, Fun, Connection, and Amazing Sex. I've invited a panel of love experts to help me answer some questions. First, we have Dr. Serena Goldstein, a naturopathic doctor. Great to see you, Dr. Goldstein. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Will you tell us a little bit more about yourself, please?
Sure. So my name is Dr. Serena Goldstein, and I'm a naturopathic doctor. I specialize in naturally balancing hormones. So I use botanical medicine, nutrition, just to really not just treat, but to get to the underlying cause of disease. So when people are coming to me, for example, with low libido, I'm looking at everything because there's usually a lot of physical, and maybe there's some weight gain, some just general discomfort, or their doctor's not sure what to do with them. And where I come in is really just try to get to the root cause, as we're looking at everything natural, including from lubrication, switching tampons, really everything under the sun that could be messing with hormones and libido. Because the fact is, if we don't feel good about where our health is, our confidence in the bedroom is going to be shot. So.
Interesting. Thank you. I can't wait to hear more about all of this. Yes. Next, we have Anita Teresa Boninger. Teresa, I love saying that. Please tell us more about what you do.
I love the way you say my name, first of all.
I can't help myself.
So last year I founded the Sex and Medicine Summit. It was a way to bridge healthcare professionals with the public and talk about healthy sexuality and the medicine of the future, and how people can feel more comfortable talking about sex and their health, just like you highlighted, Serena. I'm also a matchmaker in New York City, and I absolutely love connecting people, and I do some coaching on the side as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and I'm really excited to have met you because she's going to keep my matchmaking parties going in New York while I'm busy tanning in Miami all summer long. And I'll probably get the parties going there too as well this summer, but I'm really grateful that you're going to go ahead and keep those going for me here in Manhattan. Thank you so much.
It'll be fun, yeah.
And Craig is our third guest. Will you please introduce yourself to us?
Sure. My name is Craig. I'm a lawyer. I was working for the Department of Justice for the past 8 years in Washington, D.C., and moved to New York last year to sell out and work for a big bank. And I'm enjoying exploring New York.
Great. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Dr. Serena, let's start with you. Talk to us about tonight's topic, health, fun, connection, and amazing sex, and how we can all tie them in together to benefit our own relationship and sex lives.
Of course, my pleasure, literally. So when it comes, so funny thing is, sex is actually really good for us. It helps improve our skin. It even boosts our libido, decreases risk of certain cancers. But in order to get to have more sex, we also want to have more sex. And sometimes, and as I said, that's where I find that if we don't feel very good about ourselves, or maybe if there's a lot of migraines or weight gain, PMS, or any menopausal or perimenopausal symptoms, it can certainly really have a hindrance to even doing that same act or engaging in the foreplay and sexual activity to also make us healthier. So we're trying to come into the circle at many different pieces. You know, once again, also using natural therapies, conventional as seen fit as well, but really taking that holistic approach.
Beautiful. And Anita, what do you think about being taken away to a super luxury getaway hotel by your lover?
When? Tomorrow, please?
5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like always a yes for that. I don't know any woman who would not want to experience that.
I
Yeah.
asked you that because, guys, I did this for you to take notes. This is a sure way, guarantee, to make any woman really just amazed with you as a man. And wow, it's such a gift to just have that honored upon us, isn't it? So, absolutely. Craig, tell us what really turns you on about a woman and what floats your boat and what was it?
Creams your
Creams
Twinkie.
your Twinkie.
Well, I like a woman who's confident and sensual, and a woman who's intelligent, and you can have a witty banter. I think as you get to know someone, first you need the initial attraction, but as you get to know someone, they become more attractive or less attractive, based upon their personality. So you just need to connect, just have a good rapport, and just enjoy spending time with that person.
Cool, thank you so much. Something cool I did just hear about. Apparently, it's mostly in the state of Florida, from what I heard. These new boudoir photography studios. Have you heard of these? Where they're set up in a studio where there's things like swings or things like plushy, fun things, and
They offer them here too. I've seen them actually on Groupon and Living Social.
no way. Oh, okay. I'm so out of the loop. Okay, wow. I thought it was a great idea that, for couples to be able to go in, and if they want to explore taking pictures in these fun, sexy ways, it's just a cool tool to spice up any relationship. I thought that this was really cool. Maybe we should look for them together
Sounds
and
good.
get that contact information. Let's talk about porn a little bit. Dr. Serena, what do you think about watching porn together?
Yes, I think it could be a great experience for couples. I mean, it's something that it's another bonding experience. Once people have are trying something new, then it's like, all right, you can also figure out too, what are your fantasies? What does this person like? What do they not like? Because there's so many different topics when it comes to porn. But what I would recommend is that also for couples, perhaps to wait till the scene finishes, because I have heard from men that it can be sensory overload, especially while they're trying to watch and then focus on their partner. And, also to wait to a more comfortable partner relationship, because each one is allowing the other one to really view, to be turned on by porn, or to almost allow like that attraction of another person and something else into the relationship. So definitely waiting until the end of the scene, and then having, being more touchy-feely in between that's great foreplay. So that way everyone's senses are satisfied.
Cool. And Craig, what about you?
Well, I don't know if porn is necessary, in the beginnings of a relationship. I think once you're in a relationship, you're spending time getting to know that person, you're experiencing things together, and porn is definitely an experience that you can do. I think once you have an established relationship, and you want to spice things up, but I definitely don't advocate watching porn with your partner, in the early phases of a relationship, but maybe later when you're more comfortable with each other and you want to do something different and do something together.
I think that's a great tip, to use it after you're done authentically relating and connecting, is what I'm hearing, and use it as a tool for after that and not as a means to establish that.
Right.
Is that what I'm hearing? I like that. I like that very much.
I think I'd be very hesitant if I started dating a girl and she's like, hey, let's watch some porn together.
Yes.
I'd be like, red flag, red
I
flag.
tell my clients, don't send nudie pictures like right away. The guys are not, they put you in short-term category. If you're sending too many nudies, ladies, early on in a relationship, knock it off. It's not cute. It does not put you in long-term status to any man. So it's something that has to be brought in, and like you're saying, after it's an established decision together.
Right.
Later, after the real connection has happened.
Right. And with nudie pictures, if someone sends you a nudie picture early on, you make the assumption, oh, she does this to everybody.
Right,
And
of
then,
course. Of course, it doesn't take a lawyer to figure out that rationale.
Right.
That's what I say to all the ladies. I'm like, not too many selfies, not one selfie a month max for anybody is what I say. Don't overdo it on the selfies. And the nudies, I absolutely would wait years personally.
Yeah.
Just to, it's just, maybe not that long, but what's kinky to you, Anita? And how do you utilize it to keep connecting with your partners?
Well, I think that the realm of BDSM, outside of 50 Shades of Grey, which people who are really into BDSM are like, oh, that was nothing. That was a completely silly way to talk about it or to show to the public what it really is about. Because it's more about the psychology. It's about power. It's about surrender. It's also about engaging the more primal aspect of ourselves and the animalistic side, which doesn't get to come out and play very often in kind of regular society and the roles that we're assigned. I'm a girlfriend, I'm a boyfriend, I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I'm a mother, I'm an aunt. It's like, well, the realm of BDSM takes you far out of all those roles and identities and lets you play in hopefully a safe way that's nothing to do with violence. It's not about violence at all. It's about learning to trust and surrender and play with power. So I think it's extremely erotic, and when there's a high level of communication and integrity in the way that two people are playing together, it can be very, very bonding and foster a whole new insight into the relationship.
I would like to hear a little bit more on, I'm sure that there's somebody listening that has thought about wanting to explore, how do you say it,
BDSM, which
BDSM stands for what?
Well, let me just make sure I get this correct. I know it's domination, submission, sadomasochism.
Is it masochism?
But the B, at the moment, I don't know if it's not bondage. I don't think.
But regardless, I'm sure somebody that's watching has thought, I wouldn't mind exploring that with my partner. How would you suggest bringing that up at the soccer game or at the dinner table? And how to kind of go about it or start exploring it further? I have no clue.
Yeah, I think it's important to
choice.
There's classes. To start with something safe, so you're not exploring without knowing how to properly handle another person's body and physiology. So some of the things that people do are higher risk, like choking and things that might from the outside look like violence, but they're really very planned. It's all very organized and planned and agreed upon before a person goes into a scene or a session together. And clothes can stay on or off. So for in the instance of bondage, you want to be trained in how to tie a knot properly, so you can actually untie the knot, so your partner's not just stuck, tied on.
Turning blue in the corner, and then all of a sudden you're like, where's my partner?
You want to learn how to really sense where that person is in the process of arousal. So for, let's say the woman is the sub, the man is playing the dom role. You want to be able to learn, okay, when she's going through that cycle of going up to peak arousal, to make sure that she also feels safe, but there has to be enough excitement to also kind of spike those levels of arousal, which is extremely erotic and powerful. It doesn't have to include intercourse. It can be all about the psychological dynamics of power between two people. Sure. But learning how to read those physiological signs, like her breathing, the color and tone of her skin, the temperature of skin, and then having signals like, okay, this is getting too intense. This is now a yellow light. Like, is it red? Is it green, yellow, or red? and being really clear. Like, okay, just like in martial arts where you tap
We're learning
out.
language.
It's
We're
a whole
learning the
vocabulary.
language here.
Yeah.
I feel like an insider. Red, green, yellow.
Absolutely, because you're in another state. Often you get so lost in the sensation, and you can be completely deep in this state of vulnerability and surrender as the sub, and then you realize, oh, this is getting too intense. I think I need to back off a little bit, take a break. But your mind is not thinking in a normal linear way. You need to have a quick way to communicate. All right, we need to like bring it down a couple notches.
Interesting. I'm fascinated by all of this. Something just came up for me with Dr. Goldstein. Talk to us. I think it's really a value because a large part of the sexual population really is into toys and fun gadgets and things like that, which are not very interesting to me. I'm more about efficiency, and I don't like a lot of extracurriculars going on. But I know that it is quite popular. So talk to us about a healthy and safe manner to be able to incorporate that into someone's sex life.
Right. So, kind of like what Anita was talking about, how there are ways of easing into BDSM. There's certainly ways of easing into toys. And in that, big general picture, especially as I am looking at the more natural side of things, a lot of these toys can have certain chemicals and things, and really chemicals and toxins in them that can disrupt our hormones, which also play a huge role in libido and a lot of other types of symptoms as well, general hormonal issues. So going more towards lubes, sex toys that are so-called clean. There's a number of great websites that have, whether it's FDA approved, I know Playboy's approved, a really good natural brand. So that's, one aspect to start looking at toys. The other one is just, what's your goal? Where are you looking to start? Are you looking to dive right in? I think that's also a great way for people to go to sex shops together and just bring over one of the people who work there. And you could even have them range through everything from butt plugs to different size dildos to handcuffs. You could even play around with the handcuffs if maybe you just want to start there. Ropes, or as we did see in 50 Shades of Grey, go to a hardware store and kind of create your own. So it's not always about just going to an adult store and getting toys, but what are some creative ways too that you could, be safe around the house?
All we've discussed so far is all out of my league a little bit, but I will say one good tool for us more, more shy around those areas. Halloween, is the number one holiday in the world. It's the number one money-making holiday in the world for a reason. I think because we allow ourselves to dress up differently and express almost like a role play thing one night a year. And I used to love that night so much that I'd dress up in these crazy outfits, Catwoman, and I'd get really sexy. And so now I've brought that into my own personal life where I'll do a little bit of dress up. So I recently bought a Catwoman outfit that I love, and I'll just wear it for myself after time and walk and work in my desk on it because it's so hot and it makes me feel that mojo, right? And I'm looking for a bionic woman outfit right now, actually myself. So role playing like that, I think, is about the extent that somebody like me would go into. How about you, Craig? What's your fun toys in the closet per se?
I don't have any toys. I'm pretty boring, I guess. Never had any toys. Never really used any toys.
If a woman brought one out and wanted to put a butt plug on you.
I don't think I'd go with the butt plug. I'll take a hard pass on that one. That's a hard pass, yeah. Not going there.
Just wondering.
Yeah. I'm pretty open-minded and I like to try anything at least once, but yeah, I'm going to draw the line at butt plug.
And what if she wanted to experience a vibrator where you were in charge of that?
I'm fine with that. I mean, I know, men get often accused of being selfish in bed, because, a man orgasms a lot faster than a woman orgasms. And, after a man orgasms, they roll over to the side of the bed and say, okay, good night, thank you. And then, the woman's left unsatisfied. So, I mean, probably not a bad idea to make sure that a woman gets satisfied as well, after yourself. So I guess toys can, help facilitate that.
And actually, to add on to that, it doesn't always have to be the crazy with the spikes and whips, and depending on how people don't have the experience and want to ease into it, it could even just be as simple as something like a blindfold. So when one sense gets diminished, the others heighten. So you're right. Like, let's say after you ejaculate, you're ready to turn over, but she's still ready to go. Put a blindfold on, you could play with ice or melted chocolate or something, and really then just start working on her senses until you get back up again. So totally.
I love that.
There is a book I read a few years ago called She Comes First. And then I found out they did write a sequel. I forgot the name of the doctor that wrote it, and it was He Comes Second. But the point of that is that the best way to do, I think, for a man to do what he was teaching us is have her get there first, because then it's just creme brulee or something for you, because you've already gotten her there, and then allow yourself. So if that's possible, I think that's actually a really good tip, guys. She comes first. I think is a
best
good
if you
tip.
come together.
Well, that is the best ideal. I would agree with you there.
But I also think, I like the analogy, like men are like microwaves and women are like ovens. So, once a woman is hot, once you turn it off, she's still hot. But, with a microwave with men, once it turns off, it cools down.
I never heard this.
and then, it's amazing, physically, like, how, you get really turned on during sex, but then after a man ejaculates, he loses all interest in women.
That's
Like,
true. It's
like,
scientific
yeah.
that it's just men just have a much longer refractory period.
I think I'm like a man. When I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah. And then with women too, then you have all the same thing, all our hormones and neurotransmitters going. So that's why, especially bonding and and just cuddling or after sex could really prolong just those happy feelings. So that's where we say, oh, it's so great for health. It enhances the skin. It gets our blood moving. It just makes us feel good. And we're just so interconnected, mind and body, and that's just a fabulous way to experience it.
And I think from an evolution standpoint, they want to encourage to have sex and to procreate. So the more you're having sex, the longer your life expectancy can be. And if you're not having sex, you're not procreating, you're not contributing to society or to mankind. So
Right.
it could be the detriment to your health.
And actually, fun fact, during orgasm, the woman's vagina, well, really the cervix, which attached to the uterus, slips in just a little bit more into the canal to help pick up the sperm. Once again, thinking of the evolutionary standpoint.
When does it do that?
Right around orgasm.
Oh.
So, because the body's just trying to optimize every way possible to then eventually get the sperm up through the cervix, the uterus, off to the goes to one of the fallopian tubes, through them, and go
To the
one
left
of the
or the
eggs.
right?
Left, right, go to both, whichever eggs get fertilized, and the ovaries. It's who knows, but.
It's amazing how life is just all about chance. Like if I just went down the other fallopian tube, I wouldn't be here.
Anita, I want to explore anal sex with you.
You do?
Well,
Wow.
have at it.
Oh my God, I'm so flattered.
I think you're the perfect victim for me to explore anal sex with. Talk to me about it, or what you've learned about it, or what you know about it, since you do host the Sex and Medicine Summit. And it is something that's a phenomena to a lot of couples, and a lot of them may want to engage in it and don't really know quite how. And maybe you can talk about some safety measures in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a wonderful enhancement to what we think of as conventional, straightforward intercourse, and however, it requires relaxation and preparation. So a lot of lubrication. If it's the man attempting to insert his penis into the woman's butt, into the the anus, then all those muscles around there need to be prepared, needs to be relaxed. If she's really
How does one
uptight,
prepare to
if she's
receive?
uptight, like most New Yorkers, it's gonna be really
God,
hard.
you suggest yoga, meditation before breathing techniques.
I think massage.
A lot of wine, maybe Prosecco.
All of the above.
Not
all
I
of the
think,
above.
but I think massage is really great. And then what I like to explore and encourage people to explore is giving prostate massage to their male partner, whether you're a woman or a man, because that actually is a really great way to promote health, a healthy prostate gland, and it can be very bonding, and it can be extremely pleasurable orgasm for the man. And a lot of, now there's a huge rate of prostate cancer among men. It's pretty much guaranteed after the age of 70.
Due to lack
It's
of
pretty
butt
horrible.
sex?
I think that there's a lack of circulation. So if you look at it from the perspective of Chinese medicine, they would say it's a stagnation of qi. So it's the glands, the tissues, there's a compression, there's a tightening and constriction. So literally there's not circulation of blood or of sensation. But, no pun intended, there's so many nerve endings. So it's really rich with nerve endings. And with
Craig, run out and get it right now. I'm worried about
I
you.
really encourage men to be open to exploring that. It doesn't mean you're gay if you like it. It's part of your physiology. It's wired in. And if women can learn to provide that for their male partner, I think it's extraordinary and it can be very bonding.
Amazing.
So why would women want to be the recipients? Like, I understand with men,
Well,
'cause of the prostate.
it's pleasurable for women too, depending on the angle, depending on the speed.
But
You have
they're
to be
not
really,
having
to be
the
really
health
gentle.
problems. They're not having prostate cancers, though, is the point, right?
Right,
Because
because-
the first third of the anus, like right in the beginning, that's the most sensitive, and then where there's like when you go in a little bit, there's something kind of called a dentate line. So then, as you're going in a little bit, and then further on, once you kind of cross that dentate line, you're good. You're not really going to feel a whole lot because the nerve endings are right in the beginning. That's where the importance of massage comes in. And also for women, there's actually a whole psychological component to it as well. Is it the Virgin Madonna, that paradox? So it's also the woman getting used to it. And certainly, from the guy, it's not just sticking it right in there. There's a whole, they could try, massaging, and then that's where a butt plug could come in. That's where a finger could go for maybe now 2 fingers. And then, once again, bring in the lube. You never want to go from anus to vagina or vagina to anus with the same condom. You always want to keep it clean, keep good hygiene. And, especially it would be great too ideally if the guy was experienced. So, they know it's not just purely about, all right, how fast can we go? Because there's a lot of sensitive tissue there.
Being gentle, it's a good way to go.
Yes.
Well, and before we close out, I did want to touch one more topic with Anita on the nude beaches. I found out that you've actually gone to a gay man's nude beach, and I want to hear a little bit more about how that experience was for you.
Didn't get picked up by anyone, which is great.
I guess that's the safest way to go about it, huh?
Yeah, that's
Like how
kind of why I
women
went
go dance
there.
at gay clubs.
Yeah, for those of you who live in New York, it's Robert Moses Beach, which is partially a regular beach, and then if you go further out toward Fire Island, that's a nude beach, and it's private. There's plenty of room. That's why I like going there, because no one bothers each other. People stay in their own little sections, and personally, I just like going into the ocean and swimming and feeling the water on my body without any kind of tight, clingy thing on my skin. I'd rather just feel the currents of the ocean on my body directly. That's why I go.
You are the connection goddess, is why you're here today. So there we go.
I've never been to a nude beach with beautiful women like that. You used to like a little
Maybe you should accompany
older.
and you should
Well, you'd
accompany
probably
her
have an
next
interesting time. You'd probably
Yeah.
have a different experience than I would. Because definitely it's kind of a pickup zone for
that
gay
right?
men. But like I went with my first boyfriend in New York. We went there together, and I just remember getting up from the sand and looking out, and there he was swimming, and there was a man swimming after him. And I was like, and he kept swimming away. So I was like, all right, time to go.
Well, I want to thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. And I want to close out with a beautiful quote that I found at the Museum of Sex on Fifth Avenue. It was on a card or something. And it said, "If I know what love is, it is because of you." And that just makes me so happy. I have it all over my house. Please give me a call at Dr. Love Enterprises at 888-854-7488. or email me anytime at drlove@drlove.com. And I want to say goodnight and much love to everyone tonight.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of. Baby, dream a while, scheme a while, we're sure to find happiness, and I guess all those things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby, till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby.